Hello and welcome back to SP's edit walkthroughs. What I'm doing right now is walking through my edit of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 260, episode number 260. It is about the Punisher, but we're well beyond that at this point in time. We're just going over the last part of the news. Now, before Gonna Geek started, I mentioned in the last video that I was going to record an episode of Gonna Geek. So as I was waiting for Steven to call me, I went ahead and edited the first, several minutes of the next segment, and it looks like we're going to be close to being done here pretty soon. So that's great, and I'm just going to continue this edit until I'm done for the night and possibly publish this episode tonight. So I'm sorry you missed roughly, 43:30. 46 and change, so roughly about 7 minutes of the edit. There wasn't anything big in there that we haven't covered already, so we're just going to continue here. Once again, my name is SP. I am part of the Better Podcasting podcast about hobby podcasting, and I'm part of the GonnaGeek.com network. This is an edit for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 260. I'm doing the audio edit on Audacity. I completed the movie studio, the Vegas movie studio edit before, so this is the last part of this particular edit before I move on to Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 261, and that will start the whole Vegas movie studio 15.0 platinum video edit all over again. Here we go. Warner Brothers. I'm going to have to turn on the speakers as I had turned them off for the podcast. It takes about 10 seconds for the speakers to turn on. Here we go. With Warner Brothers for DC, at least for a movie, I don't see him coming back. I think this is permanent, that he's not coming.
No, once you get a better gig after you get fired from a job, you don't go back to the job that fired you.
No.
So I don't know what the future is of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's unfortunate. I was really enjoying those movies, and in the major roles that they played in the last Avengers movie, I really would like to see them again, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah. If the third movie happens, it'll be the last one. Yeah. If the third movie happens, it'll be the last one. I can't see another one happening after that.
Okay.
All right. A last little bit of news about Avengers 4. We have a leaked photo of one of the characters.
Okay, how spoilery do we want to get? Because how
Take a chance, see if that'll be a good edit.
How spoilery do we want to get? Because
this is going to come out soon anyways.
Yeah.
This is going to come out soon anyways. I think it's going to be unavoidable.
Okay, the link that we're putting is pretty spoilery, like in the title. So if you don't want to know, just skip until you hear the.
Just deleting.
So if you don't.
Just tightening everything up.
So if you don't want.
Okay, that F sound is the same as the S sound, the TH sound. You can actually add, splice that together most of the time and get a good video or audio edit there.
Thing is pretty spoilery, like in the title. So if you don't want.
I don't like the like. That's a crutch word, but I think it's used properly here, so I'm going to keep it.
That we're putting is pretty spoilery, like in the title. So if you don't want to know, just skip until you hear the music for the next part, because this is the last story. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth.
And get rid of that.
The last story. Gwyneth Paltrow pretty much spoiled the big screen debut of Rescue. She shared a photo of herself wearing the costume. She has boob armor, which.
Also, it's easy to edit around an S or an F sound because all you have to do is cut it, and then if it's on the front end, you just need to do a fade in. On the back end, fade out might help, but.
Of herself wearing the costume. She has boob armor, which is annoying. But yeah, she is suited up. armor, which is annoying. She is
Leave the butt in there.
but she is suited up in armor. I've been hoping that we'd see rescue.
It's not the iconic colors of the suit, but it could all, I mean, it's on a green screen, so they could do stuff with that.
It's purple and silver.
With that.
It's purple and silver.
And isn't the iconic color more reddish, pinkish?
Okay. So originally it
Got rid of a couple of crutch words, and a so. Pinkish.
okay. Originally it was red and gold, but
I think I can actually get rid of that okay. Pinkish.
originally it was red and gold, but then I believe she does also have purple and silver armor from like Iron Man Armored Adventures, and I think in the comics they changed it.
And
They changed it.
And this would not be her first time on screen in a suit.
Yes, she did wear the Iron Man armor
In Iron Man 3.
Yes, and I believe we discussed then that, oh, is this rescue?
Yeah, we got all excited.
Yeah.
And it turned out, no, she was just wearing the Iron Man armor. And here she is wearing the purple and silver armor.
So we have confirmation that she makes it through. Well, no, we don't, because...
No, we do. They discussed before, yeah, Pepper Pot lives.
Okay.
After the snap. Like, they're in all the whole, like, oh, who lives after the snap. Like, they're in all the whole, like, they're in all the whole.
I think I can cut all that out. We'll see what it sounds like.
Snap. In all the whole, like, oh, who lives? People would ask, like, the Russos who lived.
I forgot. Were they married before Avengers?
No, they were engaged.
All right. Well, a lot of fun news. We'll look forward to more news next week. In the meantime, let's move on into the feedback. Just as a production note there, I've been trying to get away from actually announcing the fact of what I'm transitioning into. But in some cases, I just can't get rid of it. And if I take that statement on its own, I don't think there's a good ending spot. A lot of fun news. We'll look forward to more news next week. In the meantime, let's move on into next week. Yeah, it's called upspeak when you actually raise your voice at the end of something. And I just don't see myself ending a sentence that way. I could cut it there and that would be it. And I'd go straight into the bump for the next segment into the feedback, but it's just not going to sound good. We'll look forward to more news next week. In the meantime, let's move on into the feedback. If I would have said next week, something like that, not just the upspeak. So I got to leave it as is. Now I'm going to put in the end of the news bump that I've got. So I double click that part of the track, which selects the whole part of the track, and then Control C copies. And then I'm going to toggle back using the Alt and the Tab key, toggle back here, and then throw that in. I am going to cut this segment using an Control I. That puts the cut in there in the track. I'm going to go back with the selection tool, double click that part of the track, and then Control T, which is the short key that I've defined as truncate silence. Go ahead and truncate the silence. It's less than a minute. So this will be a quick edit. Feedback. Keep on forgetting. Movie Studio lets you move stuff around while it's playing. Fortunately, Audacity, you have to get everything set before you start playing.
First up, we got something from Mr. Paracletes.
That's by ear. I don't have a specific spot to throw it in. I probably should. But what I do is I just use my ear, and then wherever it sounds good for Haley to start, that's when it starts.
First up, we got something from Mr. Paracletes. He said, I hope one of these bright lights wasn't Asgard.
Yeah, he retweeted a CNET article. NASA has named. Yeah.
The affirmative yeahs can be verbal crutches, and sometimes I just like to get rid of them. Actually, most of the time I do.
It wasn't Asgard.
He retweeted a CNET article. NASA has named new constellations after the Incredible Hulk and Godzilla.
I want to know, are they going to name a constellation after Godzuki?
Oh, please no. That thing was horrifying.
It wasn't horrifying. It was just a cute little pet.
It looked like a potato.
It was Hanna-Barbera.
And that theme song was annoying.
Well, it got generations interested in Godzilla, so.
I was already interested in Godzilla.
Not everybody was. Haley, you're too young to remember that, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's for the best. It was a really annoying. It's for the best. It was a really.
Talking about.
Yeah.
It's for the best. It was a really annoying cartoon.
Okay.
All right, everybody, grab your keys. We're going to get into our Mustangs and race this one out. Again, select the outgoing. This is actually the old outgoing sound. This is the new outgoing sound. So I'm going to use that one. Slide in right here. The good thing about this is that right after I stop, that's when, or right after the music stops, that's when this outro should really start. So I'm going to go ahead. There's nothing left there except for, actually, I'm going to get rid of that. Delete, and then select the whole thing, Control T to truncate the silence. So now it's all packaged and ready to go, and get it close to the start. And move on in. So basically right when it stops, that's when I start speaking, and you'll see why if you haven't heard it yet. Thanks everybody for hanging on in there. We're going to get caught up with live production pretty soon, and we're in the middle of the Punisher. We'll run another poll to see what everybody wants us to cover later. What's the next Netflix series? Is it Jessica Jones? To cover later. What's the next Netflix series? What's the next Netflix series? Wow. So I'm going to back up a couple of things there. So what I wanted to do is clean this up. So I can get rid of that. That's a delete. Edit, redo, delete. And the other thing was I stumble next. So it's really easy to take out that beginning of the second one and just hang the rest of the next there, and boom, we've got a coherent sentence again. For later, what's the next Netflix series? Is it Jessica Jones?
I believe it's Jessica Jones, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be either Jessica Jones or maybe Cloak and Dagger, or maybe if somebody's interested in a third party, let us know. But I think those are the two big contenders. So stay tuned for that. You don't have to say stop. The two big contenders. Stay tuned. Yes, I do, actually. Two big contenders. So stay tuned for that. We'll be letting everybody know.
Thank you to everybody who...
Get rid of the little breath sound and the everybody know.
Thank you to everybody who listens, who sends us feedback. We really love hearing from you. Send us your thoughts on...
I don't know if I can take that one out.
Send us...
Yeah, I can, because there's an S. That's easy to cut into. It in?
Send us your thoughts on The Punisher. And thank you guys. We love you.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that's listening. Like we said, we would like to know what you would like us. Like we said, we would
Let's try it without the fade in there.
Like we said, we would like to know what you would like us to talk about, and we appreciate what you would like us to talk about.
That's another thing. Hard consonants that if you say them twice, it's easy to cut into them.
You would like us to talk about, and we appreciate everyone that contacts us in any way about anything. We love hearing your voices and seeing your words.
Another great way to contact us now is this is an announcement on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D, although not the first announcement on the Gonna Geek Network. The Gonna Geek Network has a Discord server. So if you're a Discord user, you can get on Discord at gonnageek.com/Discord and join our server. And there is a channel specifically there for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. We've been having some great conversations already. It was just unveiled less than a week ago on the gonnageek.com show, and it has been a success so far, and we look forward to seeing you there. And even if you're not a Discord user, you can become a Discord user. Once again, that is gonnageek.com/Discord. Until next time, I'm Director SP.
I'm Agent Haley.
And I'm Agent Lauren.
I'm Agent Haley.
And I'm Agent Lauren.
Bye. See you guys later, or see you on Discord.
Bye.
They both said it at the same time. That's very rare. All right, what I'm going to do for the rest here is I'm going to put in the... Let me explain what I did there. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in the outro. In order to put in the outro, I need 2 tracks because I use music and there's a voiceover that goes with there. So I'm going to put in 2 new tracks by pressing Control-Shift-N. You can always also go up to tracks and add new. In this particular case, it is a audio track. Some versions of Audacity, the newer ones, say mono track. That's what I would use here, mono track. I don't edit in stereo. So the bumps, I'm going to put at the bottom, and I do that by clicking up by the bump's name or the track name, and then move track to the bottom. So I know these 2 tracks are the ones that I have to use. And so I go over to my template, and I know it's all this that needs to come over. So I select the whole thing, Control C, and then flip back over using the Alt tab to where I'm working. Make sure that the sync lock tracks is not depressed. And I select 2 tracks I could do an area of, or I could use the Shift key and the down arrow key to make sure both tracks are selected at the same spot. And then Control V puts that entire thing in. And just to make sure you can see it, I'm gonna down a little. There you go. So this here is the music. This down here is the voiceover for the outro. And these are the outtake beeps. And there is the last thing that's said, and then the busy beeps, the old phone busy beeps. I don't actually know if kids know what that is these days, but 5 years ago when this podcast was started, phones were still a thing. Oh, and guess what? I deselected everything because I bumped my mouse, so I'm going to go ahead and select everything again on the 2 tracks. I'm going to go back in and slide on over, and I'm going to change it to the time shift tool. And I'm going to grab and slide. There's a specific spot that I have in the music. There's a little bump right there, like a bass drum, boom. And that I usually try to put right after the last thing that's said there, the bye from the ladies. And I know it's right here there's this little bulb here before the last crescendo. And then at the beginning of the last crescendo, that's when the bump is. So I know to place that roughly at the end. And just to make sure I have the right thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a spot in the timeline above, and it will start playing from that spot. See you guys later, or see you on Discord.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
Right. That is placed well. From here on in, what I'm going to do, let me change selection tools, is I'm going to add in the post-credit scenes. Let's see, at 5, 6, 7. I think I have 7 post-credit scenes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the time sync tool on. And then when I grab any portion of a track that's connected to another track, it all goes over. But then when I'm attached, now I'm attached to this part of the track. And if I would move this, it would move that part of the track too. I guess it didn't right there, but usually it does. So once I have it set, then that's it. And this, by the way, is if you go to generate tone, it is a frequency of 1000 hertz. The amplitude is at 0.4, I believe. It could be 0.2 for each track. So if you're just doing a mono track, it would be 0.4. They're cumulative. They add together. So 0.2 and 0.2 get to 0.4. So if I was just doing one track, I'd do 0.4. There you go. That's the two combined into one. And then I put a half a second of space on either side. So that is how that is created. And I have done this is how I put it, actually publish it before. So I'm not going to do it this particular time just because it's so late and I want to get it out as soon as I can. But I will start the edit of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 261 on Movie Studio with the next video. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me at Stargate Pioneer on Twitter. You can email me, stargatepioneer@guineageek.com. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can always leave a comment down below. And if you do so, I just ask that you put a time code in, or whenever you're asking me a question, that you put a time code in a video name so I can go to whatever video it is and I can get a good idea of the specific question that you're asking. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been of help, and I will continue to do these. And let me know if I can improve them at all. I'm not going to put any more production level in them because these are simply walkthroughs of how I edit. Can't really add that much into my schedule right now. This is adding to my schedule, but I felt there were several people that were asking me the same questions, and I thought this would be the best way to go about doing it. And let everybody know how I edit so they can figure it out on their own with my help. That's it for tonight. Thank you very much, and I will see everybody next video. Bye.